Hi, hello, welcome to today's product presentation. My name is Syed, I'm the Sales and Marketing Executive for Happy Tours Asia, and today I'll give you a little more information about my hometown, Malaysia. Alright, so before coming and visiting our beautiful country, please check with our Malaysian embassy first if you require any permits or visas to enter Malaysia. So flying to Malaysia will be very easy since we have 5 international airports that you can fly from. So in Peninsula part of Malaysia, we have Kuala Lumpur, Langkawi and Penang International Airport, whereas in Borneo part, we also have Kuching and Kota Kinabalu Airport. So all these 5 international airports has also easy access to our neighboring countries, which is Singapore and Indonesia, just in case you want to have a maximum experience throughout the Southeast Asian countries. Right, so Malaysia is defined by its equatorial rainforest, which has a tropical climate all around the year. We also have some beautiful beaches and islands throughout the peninsula part of Malaysia and also Borneo part of Malaysia. Besides that, those attractions, Malaysia is well known for the cultural diversity. So we have a variety of ethnic groups that are working together in harmony here in Malaysia. So we have the Malay, Chinese, and Indian, which is the three big main races that we have here in Malaysia. So you are able to see people speaking in Bahasa Malaysia, which is Bahasa Melayu. We also have Chinese, which speak in Chinese language, and also we have Indians, which speaks in Tamil here in Malaysia. Besides that, we also have some ethnic tribes or ethnic groups, which is the Aboriginal people, which also have the Kawat, the Daya, and also the Iban people, which is located in the Borneo part of Malaysia. So Malaysia in general is not a big country. We have almost 26 million people that live here in Malaysia, but it doesn't stop us from being a very diverse country. Right, so Peninsula part of Malaysia consists of 11 states and also 2 federal territories. So each and every one of the states that we have here in Peninsula part of Malaysia has a unique experience that they can offer to our clients. So in general, Peninsula part of Malaysia is divided into 2 locations, which is the west coast part of Malaysia and also the east coast part of Malaysia. So Malaysia throughout the year has a tropical climate. But in certain times of the year, especially from October up until to February, the east coast part of Malaysia is well known to have the monsoon period right there. So you won't be able to access the east coast islands such as the Perhentian Islands, the Redang Islands and also the Tioman Islands. But you won't be missing anything. We also have a similar experience that we can offer here in Malaysia at the Langkawi Island and also the Pangkor Island. So from a peninsula part or Peninsula Malaysia modules, we can always combine it with either Sabah or Sarawak and also Singapore, since we have all the flight routes that are easy access to all these destinations. We can also link Peninsula part of Malaysia to all the major cities in Indonesia to complete your Southeast Asian experience. Right, so here's a short overview on the peninsula part of Malaysia. So in terms of characteristics, this is the most developed area in Malaysia. So you are able to find all the facilities very easy here in Peninsula part. It is also very suitable for people that are looking for a mixture of experience. So if you're looking for culture, nature, and also just a relaxing time on the beach, you can find it in the Peninsula part of Malaysia. So the positive thing about Peninsula Malaysia is the wide variety of accommodations that we can offer in this part of Malaysia, because we have accommodations ranging from high-end accommodations up until to budget accommodations. We can also travel in the peninsula part of Malaysia using local buses, trains, and also renting a car here in Malaysia. So the peninsula part of Malaysia can easily be combined with Sabah, Sarawak, Singapore, and Indonesia, since we do have the domestic airports and international airports that can easily link from one destination to one destination. Right? So the negative part about Peninsula Malaysia are regarding the public holidays that we have here in Malaysia, because we have a diverse ethnic group here in Malaysia. We have a lot of public holidays and big festive seasons here in Malaysia. So during these periods, the roads will be a little bit crowded. So traveling from one place to one place will be will take a little bit longer, and also one destination can be a little bit crowded during these festive seasons. So in terms of routing, as mentioned before, we have a lot of international and domestic airports that are easy access to from one destination to one destination. So it is suitable for people that are looking for a fly and drive package, which we have a good route network that is connecting peninsula part of Malaysia with Singapore and also the flight routes that are connecting peninsula part of Malaysia with Borneo and also other countries such as Indonesia, Singapore, and other international countries. Right, so here are some experience that you can be found when you're visiting Malaysia. So in Peninsula part of Malaysia, it's easy to combine all this experience together. So we have cultural experience, we have leisure experience, and we also have nature experience that can be combined. So cultural experience can be found throughout the Peninsula part of Malaysia. So it's easy to find all these heritage buildings, all the religious sites, food outlets, which portray all these different culture and food experience that you can find here in Peninsula part of Malaysia. So in terms of diving and snorkeling, the best part to do these activities are at the East Coast Islands of Malaysia. So Perhentian Island, Redang Island, Tioman Island, among the best places that you can do these activities, especially for diving activities, because they have much more nicer corals and also sea life in this location right here. Whereas for cycling activities, we do have some unique activities that can be done right here in Malaysia. So we have some city center cycling, which is in Kuala Lumpur and also in Penang. We also have some unique cultural activities, which is cycling in the countryside area and also the village area, which is located in Malacca and also Langkawi. In terms of nature activities, we have activities ranging from jungle trekking to nature walks, and also some of the activities do have the experience of or chances to see some wildlife along the way. So these can be experienced in the jungles of Malaysia, such as the Belum State Park, the Pahang National Park, and also the Endarompe National Park, which is located in the southern part of Malaysia. So these are the unique experiences that you can experience when visiting in Peninsula part of Malaysia. Right, so here are some sample routes that we can suggest if you're creating or preparing a program for Peninsula part of Malaysia. So typically, if you're going for a Malaysia or Peninsula part Malaysia program, you require at least 40 days to make sure that you have some time to experience the culture, the nature, and also some time to relax around the beach area. So as you can see below, there are two options or two route suggestions that we can give you some samples on. One is route 1 and route 2. So the difference between these two routes are only the beach extension on the end of the stay. So the route 1 will be focus on the east side of Malaysia, which is the East Coast Islands, which is the Perhentian Islands, and the route 2 will be focusing on the west part of Malaysia, which is the Langkawi Islands. The reason for these two routes is actually because of the monsoon period that we have here in Malaysia. So in October up until to February, the East Coast Island will not be accessible. So we are unable to sell these islands during this period of the year. So since we want to sell Malaysia as a whole year destination, we can always replace the end of the stay to the west part of Malaysia, which is the Langkawi Island. It is also a nice island to stay by, nice facilities that they have there. So these are the options that we can give to the clients if they're looking for a Peninsula part program here in Malaysia. Right, so the typical route here in Malaysia, Route 1 and Route 2, we have the similar beginning, which is in Kuala Lumpur, which is located right here. So Kuala Lumpur is ideally the best place to start the tour because it is located nearby to the international airport and it is easy access to all the main cities here in Malaysia. So for Kuala Lumpur, the drive from the airport coming to the city hotel will only take you around 45 minutes only. So after a long flight, just a short drive will be just nice to experience the city center area. So among the things that you are able to see when you're visiting Kuala Lumpur are mainly focused towards the history and the culture that we have here in Malaysia. So in terms of the buildings that we have here in Malaysia, among the icons of Malaysia is the Petronas Twin Towers. So coming to Kuala Lumpur, not visiting or not taking a picture of the Twin Towers is never complete. So you are also able to visit the Sky Bridge and also the observation deck. You can go purchase the ticket directly at the counter and also pre-purchase the ticket online for these tickets entrance. You can also experience a little bit of the culture here in Malaysia. In terms of culture, you are able to visit the Batu Caves, which is a Hindu temple here in Malaysia. It's located a little bit outskirts of the city center area. You just have to climb the 272 steps to get an amazing view from up in the cave area. Besides that, you are also able to visit the Orang Asli villages, see how they still have the typical lifestyle or nomadic lifestyles of the Orang Asli, which is located here in Malaysia. We also have other experiences that you can try by here in Malaysia. For example, we have the cooking classes that you can experience cooking some local cuisines. or you can also go for a bicycle tour in the city center area. This bicycle tour is a lovely bicycle tour that consists of the main elements of the city center area. So you'll be going to some Malay villages, some Indian temples, and also some Chinese locations here in the city center area. So it's basically a nice combination inside the city center to experience a little of the culture, the history, and also the food that we have here in Kuala Lumpur. Right, so moving on to the next destination, from Kuala Lumpur, you can travel directly up until to the national park area, which is the Taman Negara location. So going up until to the national park, it will usually take you approximately around 4 to 5 hours drive. So there are several options that you can choose by. You can either take a shared transfer from Kuala Lumpur going up until to the national park. You can also do a private transfer, or you can also rent a car and go directly up until to the national park area. So there are several experiences that you can try by, halfway by land, halfway by boat. Then you can experience a little bit of the culture and also nature that we can offer up in the national park area. So among the highlights of the national park area, we do have the RRC villages, which is located in the national park itself. So these are the Batik tribe. They are still nomadic people. They still move from one location to one location. So these are the typical lifestyle of the Aboriginal people, or the RRC, that they have inside the national park area. We also have the canopy walk that you can also visit during your stay up into the national park area. So it's a lovely canopy walk area, walking in the treeways with a nice view up there. So this canopy walk is open every day except for Fridays. So every Friday they will close the canopy walk, so for some maintenance purposes. Other activities that you can do by inside the jungle area is some nice trekking going to the mountaintop area. You can also do some boat trip going to the Lata Burko, which is a cascade area, and have a nice dip in the waterfall area. So it is a very refreshing trip going up until the national park area. In terms of facilities inside the national park, you won't be able to get any ATM machines or banks inside the national park area. So always prepare enough cash with you when traveling up until to the national park. So most of the transactions are using cash only inside the national park. So a few accommodations that we can offer up into the national park, ranging from a nice chalet up until to a dormitory area. These are among the things that we can offer up in the national park area. So it will be a lovely experience inside the jungle stay. So 2 or 3 days inside the national park should be enough to cover all you are able to experience the whole nature in the national park area. Right, so after the national park, you'll be moving on up until to Cameron Highlands. So this drive will be taking you around 3 to 4 hours drive directly up until to Cameron Highlands. So you'll be passing by the countryside routes and then directly up to the hillside route, going to the highlands of Malaysia, which is the Cameron Highlands area. So Cameron Highlands is a cold place for locals, normal temperature for tourists that are coming, especially from Europe. So Cameron Highlands is basically focused towards the agriculture up there. So they have lots of farms, strawberry farms, Cactus Valley, lavender farm, butterfly farms, and the main attraction of Cameron Highlands are the tea plantation areas that they have. So this is a very lovely place to have a nice walk in this location right here. We do have tours going up until to Cameron Highlands, the tea plantation area, where you can take a 4x4 that will bring you to the tea plantation area, and you'll be visiting the factories where you can see how they process and make the teas here in Malaysia. Besides that, you also had a chance to go to the Mossy Forest area and also the Gunung Bincang, where you can have a nice view from the observation deck that they have up in the mountaintop area. In terms of facilities, everything works perfectly fine in Cameron Highlands. We do have the ATM machines, bank, credit card machines. Food outlets, restaurants will be very easy to be found in Cameron Highlands. So staying in Cameron Highlands for 2 or 3 days, you are able to experience the culture, the nature up in Cameron Highlands. So it is a more towards a leisure kind of stay in Cameron Highlands. After Cameron Highlands, you can either choose if you're going up until to Belok or Penang, depending on the route that you'll be choosing by. If you're going for the east coast part of Malaysia, we will usually advise you to drive up until to Penang first before going up until to the east coast region. So from Cameron Highlands going up until to Penang, this usually will take you approximately around 2 or 3 hours drive in the highway routes or the freeway going directly up until to Penang Island. So in Penang, there are a lot of things that you can experience by mainly a focus towards the culture and heritage in Penang. So Penang is a big city. It is almost as developed as Kuala Lumpur. So you are able to experience mainly the culture, the history, and also the food that they have in Penang. a lot of activities that we can offer in Penang. Among the things that we can offer are the authentic trishaw tours that we can go around the city center area. We also have the bicycle tours that we can do by in the city center area, where you'll be experiencing the culture of Penang, visiting the temples, visiting the mosques around this location area with an experienced guide that has the knowledge of these locations right here. We also have some cooking classes that we can offer to you guys, where you can try and cook your own local cuisines inside the Penang Island itself. So this is a nice attraction that you can do by when you're traveling to Penang. So Penang Island itself, staying there for 2 or 3 days is all enough to get the full experience of your stay in Penang Island. Right, so after Penang, you can drive directly up until to the Belum Rainforest area. So this usually will take you around 2 hours to 3 hours drive directly up until to the Belum Rainforest. And if you're traveling from Cameron Highlands going up until to Belum, this will usually take you approximately around 3 hours to 3 hours and a half drive. Going up until to the Belum Rainforest area. So the Belum Rainforest area is the northern jungle of Malaysia. This is the border between Malaysia and also Thailand, which is located up in the northern part of Malaysia. So Belum Rainforest area is very popular for the 3 big animals up there. So we have the Malayan tiger, the sun bear, and also the elephants that they have up in Belum area. So among the activities that you are able to do in Belum are the visit to the jungle area. So we have the Temenggong Walk and also the Royal Belum experience that you can offer in this Belum Park area. So usually these activities consist of some nice trekking inside the jungle, going to the waterfall area, visiting the Orang Asli villages, and looking for the Rafflesia flowers. So cross your fingers, you might be lucky enough, you might be able to see this Rafflesia in full bloom. So it's a very beautiful flower, even though it does smell, but it's a nice experience to see this full bloom flower in this Belum Rainforest Park area. In Belum Rainforest, we only have one chalet or one resort area that you can stay by, a very nice place which is called the Belum Rainforest Resort. In this location, similar with any national park area, they have very limited facilities. So ATM machines and banks are not available in this location right here. So make sure you have enough cash when you're traveling up until to the Belum Rainforest area. So 2 or 3 days inside the Belum area is already enough, so you can experience the stay there. You are able to do some activities there, a little bit of leisure, relaxing around the poolside area at the resort area, or just do a nice tour in the lake of Tasik Banding. So you can rent a bamboo raft, you can also rent a kayak, and just go around the lake area to experience a little bit of the nature that they have up into the Belum Rainforest area. So a little bit more information about the Perhentian Islands. So for Perhentian Islands, it is approximately 45 minutes boat ride from the main town or the Kuala Besar Jetty, going directly up until to this island. So Perhentian Island is divided into 2 islands. One is the big island called Perhentian Besar and the small island called Perhentian Kecil. So these 2 islands is a little bit different compared to each other. Perhentian Besar is more focused towards a leisure kind of stay, whereas the Perhentian Kecil is more towards a more happening kind of stay. So this is where you can find all the beach bars, nightlife which is located at, whereas Perhentian Besar is more focused towards a family-oriented stay in the islands itself. So Perhentian Island is very popular for diving and also snorkeling activities, or just relax on the beach stays that we have here in Perhentian Islands. So in Perhentian Island, you can also connect your stay or do a boat ride from Perhentian going to Redang Island or Lang Tengah Island. So you don't have to go back to the mainland. You can just take a boat from Perhentian Island directly up until to Lang Tengah or Redang. So usually these boat stays will only take you around 45 minutes to 1 hour depending on the weather and sea condition. So Lang Tengah Island is a much more smaller island compared to the Perhentian Island. They only have 3 active resorts inside the island currently, and one of the island resorts that we always offer is the Coconut Lagoon Resort, which is located in the southern part of that island of Lang Tengah. So Lang Tengah is a much more quieter island. So if you're looking for a little bit of peace in this location, this is one of the places that you can relax and enjoy the scenery and also the beach that they have up in this location right here. So from Lang Tengah, you can also continue directly up until to Redang. Similar with Perhentian Island, we can take a boat directly up until to Redang and go directly up until to that location right there. So Redang Island is a much more bigger developed island compared to Perhentian and also Lang Tengah. Much more facilities that they have there up in the Redang Island. So Redang Island is also very popular for the sea turtle location in this part of Redang. They also have what we call beach big resorts or luxury resorts that they have up in Redang Island itself. So it is a nice place to just relax, enjoy the facilities, enjoy the culture, and also the nature that they have up in Redang Island. So you are able to do some snorkeling activities, diving activities, or visit the local villages that they have in the islands itself. Right, so for clients that are going or departing out from Singapore, besides the Perhentian, Redang, and also Laut Tengah Island, we can also offer them Rawak, Tioman, or Pulau Besar Island as the destinations. So these islands are located at the southern part of Malaysia, which is much more closer to Singapore. So it will be much more easier access for them going down to Singapore when they depart out of the islands itself. So along the way, you guys can stop by at one of the East Coast beaches that we have here in Malaysia. So before going out of before going to the islands, you can visit either Cherating, Tanjung Jara, or Kuala Terengganu area. So they have these locations are very nice beach stays along the east coast part of Malaysia. So they are easy access by car, which is by land. So you don't have to take a boat or anything going directly up until this resort area. So this is located in the east coast part of Malaysia, which is located in Kuala Terengganu and also Kota Baru area, going down to the Johor part of Malaysia. So these locations in Malaysia, they still have this unique lifestyle, a traditional Malay way. So you are able to see the typical Malay lifestyle, where you can see the fishermen villages, you can see the typical culture that they have there, where people still do batik chantings, playing with the kites, which they call wow bulan and such. So these are one things that you are able to experience during your stay there. So in Cherating itself, there are several activities that you can do. You can visit the turtle sanctuary. You can also visit the firefly area, where you can see the fireflies during the river cruise that they have in Cherating. Whereas Tanjung Jara is a nice place just to relax. Very nice luxury resort that they have there. So it's a typical Malay style kind of stay. So it's a nice place to just relax, enjoy the beach, enjoy the sand, enjoy the view up in this location right here. Or in Kuala Terengganu, you can experience a little bit of the culture and heritage that they have in Terengganu area. So look for the batik works that they have there. They also have very delicious foods up in Langkawi, in Kuala Terengganu area, which is the keropok lekor and also fish crackers that they have in Kuala Terengganu. So this is a nice stopover before making your way up until to the southern islands, which is Rawak Island, Tioman Island, or Pulau Besar. So all these three islands, they will require a boat which will be going out from Mersing Jetty. So from this jetty right here, you can access to these three islands right here, which is the Rawak Island, Tioman Island, and also the Pulau Besar Island. Right, so among the most popular island to be visited at the southern part of Peninsula Malaysia will be the Tioman Island. So this is approximately around 2 hours and a half or 3 hours boat ride from the Mersing Jetty, which is the mainland jetty, going directly up until to the island itself. Among the reasons why people go to Tioman Island is because of the variety of accommodations that they offer in this island itself. So they have accommodations ranging from high-end accommodations directly up until to some budget and comfort accommodations that they have in Tioman Island. And they also have a wide range of activities that they can do by inside the island. So ranging from water sport activities, using jet skis, and also snorkeling, diving activities nearby to the island itself. They do have snorkeling activities that can be done close by to the resort area, or you need to take a boat ride going to the snorkeling spots or diving spots that they have inside the island itself. They also have some jungle activities that you can do which is the jungle trekking. You can also do some what we call golfing inside this area also, if you're interested to do all this kind of sport. So it's a very developed island in the Tioman Island, so a lot of facilities that you can go by. If you're looking for a much more quiet island, a much more calm island to relax, we can offer them either Pulau Besar or Rawak Island. So Rawak Island is a much more smaller island compared to Tioman Island. It only has 2 resorts inside this island itself. So for this Rawak Island, we usually will offer Rawak Island Resort, which is our preferred stay there. So it is a nice place to just relax at the beach area with the nice white sandy beach. Enjoy the stay, enjoy the scenery up until to the Rawak Island. Other option will be going up until to the Pulau Besar area, which is a much more slightly cheaper compared to Rawak Island. So Pulau Besar is a nice accommodation in this location right here, which is also a nice quiet island compared to Tioman Island. So they have two or three resorts inside this island itself, and less people are going to this island, so it's a much more quieter island, much more nicer place to just relax, enjoy the scenery up into Pulau Besar. So going out of the Pulau Besar area or Tioman or Rawa Island, you can connect it directly going down to either Singapore or coming back to Kuala Lumpur when you're flying out to the next destination, either to Sabah, Sarawak, Singapore, to Indonesia, or any other destination back out from the international airports that we have here. Right, so if you're traveling during the monsoon period, which is October up until to February, or any time of the year, we can also go up until to the Langkawi Island, which is the west part of Malaysia. So Langkawi Island is a well-developed island, a lot of facilities that they have there. Mainly Langkawi should be no problems in getting of cash. ATM machines, bank, credit card machines, everything will work perfectly fine in Langkawi Island. So accessing Langkawi, there are several options that you can go by. From Penang Island, you can also go up until to Langkawi Island. From Penang, you can go directly up to Langkawi. This is approximately around 2 hours and a half to 3 hours boat ride, going directly up until to Langkawi. And then from there, you can experience the island lifestyle that they have up into Langkawi. We have beautiful beaches up into Langkawi Island. Just relax on the beach area. Well-developed resorts with good facilities that they have up into this location. We also have the Kilim Geo Park, where you can experience the mangrove tours that we have there. We have the mangrove kayak activities, mangrove boat tours that we have there, bat caves experience, where you visit the bat caves inside this location. You can also visit what we call the kampong area or the village area, where we have the bicycle tours in the village part of Langkawi. So there are a lot of things that you can do by in Langkawi. You can even rent out your own car in Langkawi and just go around the island and experience the Langkawi Island itself. Right, so after Langkawi, you can always fly back to Kuala Lumpur. So you have several options. You can fly directly from Langkawi to Kuala Lumpur International Airport and fly out on the same day if you're taking an evening flight. Or you can also fly back to Kuala Lumpur and go visit the city center back again. So you can either go back to Kuala Lumpur, or you can also make a short visit directly up until to the small town of Malacca. So Malacca is located roughly around 2 hours from the Kuala Lumpur International Airport. It's a very nice historical town here in Malaysia. So we have lots of history, a lot of culture and stories behind this small location here in Malaysia. So Malacca is a very historical town. A lot of things that we can offer by in Malacca town. So in Malacca, among the things that we can offer is the bicycle tour, which will take you for a tour inside the countryside area, visiting the plantation area, visiting a little bit of the village areas, and also if you're lucky enough, if it's the fruit season, you are able to taste some local fruits in this location right here. We can also offer you the tri-short tours in Malacca, which will go inside the city center area, experiencing a little bit of the culture, the history that they have in Malacca. So Malacca is more focused towards the Baba and Nyonya culture. So this is a mixture between Chinese and Malay culture that we have here in Malaysia. So this is a unique experience that you can try by when you're visiting Malacca. So after Malacca, you can always drive back to Kuala Lumpur International Airport and take your evening flight going back home or to another destination, either to Singapore, to Indonesia, or back going up until to the Borneo part of Malaysia, which is Sabah and Sarawak. So you can always combine these destinations with Peninsula part of Malaysia into one program. So with that, this concludes the video presentation from me for today, and we hope that this video gives you a little bit more information and a little bit more insight about Peninsula part of Malaysia. So hope to see you guys here in Malaysia. Come drop by and visit us soon, and have a nice day. Bye.